Namaste. I am Prithav again from Prithav Live, and today I'm really happy and grateful to have with us Mr. Rajiv Agrawal, or I'm really sorry, Dr. Rajiv Agrawal. Dr. Rajiv Agrawal is currently a professor at IIM, but this is not just something which he has done. He has also been into supply chain management, project management. He has been a CEO of different companies, and today, while we interact with him, one thing which I want to discuss is the relevance of MBA in today's market and the logic behind doing this degree and why people are still, in hordes applying for the same. Welcome, sir, to the channel.
Thank you very much, Prithav. So, it's a very relevant question that you're asking, because today's world, what we are seeing is that we are having very rapid instances and occurrences of disruptive events happening.
Understood.
They could be coming in the form of disruptive technologies. They could be coming in form of disruptive events, like, we had the recent pandemic, plus we have the war situations which are coming. Now, they are not events which we would anticipate.
True.
And prepare for in the future, like, we used to do in the earlier years. We could predict evolution.
What is coming? Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
today we are seeing very rapid development of events, and with, artificial intelligence knocking at our doors pretty rapidly, and which invokes the doubt in our mind that are we future ready?
True. Very true.
Right? So when we look at being ready for the future, now irrespective of the core discipline a person possesses, the core discipline in form of the fundamental degree or the core line of work, education, experience, enterprise, whatever one may be, but with this rapidly, evolving circumstances around us, it's becoming all the more important that we get aware of what are the potential divisions and departments of our career which can come into play.
Exactly.
Right? Now, take for instance another factor that we as a country in India, we are, I would say, the fastest growing economy in the world.
Absolutely.
Right? Thanks to youngsters like you who are bringing in the infusion of energy and infusion of the desire to do something, that ambition, that fire. So it becomes a responsibility of the fraternity of education.
Understood.
Who have people with experience, because education is nothing but a compression of the experiences of one and many.
Absolutely.
Plus, in addition, using that experience to create a dynamic situation which can be a forecast of the future.
Wow. So can we call this a definition of a particular MBA course per se?
You see, when you look at MBA, now management is something which we do in our everyday life.
Absolutely.
Your mother is a fantastic manager. Because she manages pretty much every aspect of management. Absolutely. Right from the finances to the people, to taking inventory control of all the clothing, materials, food that you need. You see, there is nothing, how to manage the distribution of the money amount, managing the time schedules. So all these things, when you look at it, it's something that she's an expert.
Understood.
But now we have to translate that spectrum of management into something which we do, what we call as work, into our careers.
Understood.
We come in from the awareness that, yes, I'm a specialist in this particular field. You're in law, for example. Now, how would you convert your specialization in law into a business or an enterprise which is offering legal service?
Exactly. That is where I believe.
That's where. So you are not talking about moving out from your individual as Prithav, doing something, to setting up something which is an organization where there are many Prithavs working together.
Sectors.
But then you don't need all duplicate Prithavs. You need Prithavs who are different, offering different skill sets.
So beautiful.
A bouquet of services and legal aspects, right? When you offer the bouquet of services and legal aspects, you must have the backup of the other services required, the support services. How many to employ?
True.
how to bring them, how to select them,
how to manage and
how to manage them, how to keep everyone motivated.
Absolutely.
HR policies come into play, pay structures come into play, parity of treatment comes into play. So it's not something which you can decide on the spur of the moment as your mood, but it is something which you have to create as a structure. When the structuring happens, your education in MBA comes handy. Supply chain, you need materials. You're running a store or a shop. You're expanding it into a mall or a multiple stores.
Understood.
Across different geographical zones. Maybe within the country, maybe outside the country.
Understood.
Supplies are not anything local. There's a lot of stuff coming from China. There's a lot of stuff coming from Germany.
Understood.
They are opening local shops. They are developing their, imports duties structures coming in from there. How do you tackle all the varying import duties? Policies change. So managing international business is another big field. India is no longer a local economy.
Absolutely.
Right? When you start putting all these things together, you will see that you can expand this logic into managing finances. How do you understand what is the difference between cash flow and fund flow?
Exactly.
They're two very different creatures, but coming from the same base.
Absolutely.
How do you manage to have your projection so that when you need cash in emergency, how do you arrange it? How do you manage profitability of the company? Not just making money, but profitability. How does it talk? You have different functions of data management, huge amounts of data. What we are using as data in a night is more than what we've used in the past 15 years.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
Internet of Things is coming into the way. Artificial intelligence.
Automation, machine learning.
Cybersecurity, blockchain. How do you keep your enterprise secure? MBA gives you all these, inputs. Organization behavior comes in. Logistics management comes in as a part of supply chain. Operations management. Any business you do is an operation.
Very true.
Putting all that together and showing that, okay, your core competency and your core business may be the trunk, but you need to have a support infusion of all these strong roots which are going in different directions.
So true.
Which can tap into the strata and then create into a healthy output.
Sir, is this true that a person from any field, for example, I'm a lawyer here, you've been an engineer, but then you chose to become an MBA graduate. So does your prefix wala field matter when you choose MBA, or is it general in nature and accepts every person from every country?
MBA will be open for anyone coming from any field of, its fundamental qualification. It needs a basic education so that the brain is mature enough with some inputs to start accepting these cross-spectral aspects which come in impact. Right? Like I'm a specialist in project management, but when I went into corporate management and I've moved around the world, growing in my career pretty well, I acquired a lot of experience, but also utilized what I had learned.
Understood.
The fundamental which I had learned in my MBA after my engineering degree, that helped me move faster in learning more in the different circumstances I was set in.
So true.
Right? So I would not limit MBA to any particular stream, of background qualifications.
It will always be open to.
It is open. It's not a limiting thing at all.
Understood, sir.
So even ordinary graduates with a commerce, they come in for MBAs and they go out different people. It's a personality changing experience. It also creates confidence within a person because one of the courses also which we teach is communications.
Interpersonal skills.
Yes. Interpersonal skills, communications, and looking at the humane side of things as well. Human beings today are the most vital resource. The products and the materials are secondary.
So true, sir.
Right?
So true.
As we are marching towards becoming a developed country, human resources are taking the front seat.
Understood.
Right? So how do you deal with them so that you are able to keep them engaged, they don't leave you and go to your competitor with all the knowledge and experience they've gained from you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Only a contract cannot really save you from it. You have to have mechanisms for it.
Correct.
Beautiful. So last question, not stretching much because you have your schedule also. So last question which I want to ask is that does institute matter when you do this degree? Because in general, I'm 23 as of now. So I have a lot of options to do MBA from various colleges, be it national, or they might say themselves that they are international or local per se. कि मेरे को डिग्री मिल जाएगी, मैं यहाँ काम करता रहूँगा. The aspect, this psychology. When you get a degree, automatically I don't have to go to college. There's no attendance. There are no lectures. There's no examination. So in this whole sphere, wherein students have so many options, CAT itself might be arguably one of the most difficult exams in our country, which is conducted. So amidst this whole arena, what would you suggest to those students who are planning to do MBA in regards to the quality of institute they choose for?
You see, when you talk about quality, I think you've answered the question yourself, right? There is, if we always would like to go for the best quality. Now, when you talk about best quality, I'm looking at it as a package.
Understood.
I'm not looking at it as an individual streak, that it should be just a beautiful campus.
Exactly.
Right?
Acres and acres.
A beautiful campus is one of the many factors. The quality of the faculty is another very important factor. The pedagogy, that how they impart teaching, is a third important factor which goes in. The affiliations which they have, whereby they can offer internships and on-the-job experiences.
Work experience.
Work experiences. That's another factor. Then, of course, MBA also looks for things like placement. So, when you put all this together, that is where I think a brand gets created.
Wow.
And I'm very happy to say that IIM is a brand. And I'm very happy to be associated, rather proud to be associated with IIM Nagpur. Because I can see the leadership over here. Dr. Bhimraya Maitri is the director of IIM Nagpur. And he's a person on a mission.
Okay.
Right? So when the leader is on a mission to excel and establish it as one of the best management schools, in the country or maybe in the globe, then nothing will stop him.
Absolutely.
And today thanks to I'm seeing the ecosystem which is around is supporting it. So he is marching head on, and you can see the campus now. We're already heading for an expansion. And the students are giving IIM Nagpur a very high preference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I hope I've answered your question on the quality things.
All of them, sir, all of them. So one last message which you, as a person who has so much of experience of different fields, would want to give to young students like me here, so that we can shape our future in a more better manner. Because in this scenario, while we are so confused with different choices, so confused with different fields, so how do we actually focus on one stream and excel into that?
See, one thing the message I'd like to give is learning never ceases. One has to understand that. It may not answer your question, but I would like to give a message, because now I'm at the age of 65, I've crossed my superannuation stage, but I'm still learning.
Absolutely.
This field of teaching is after a field, as you thanks for introducing me so well. I would suggest to the persons who are at the age of choosing a career is to develop the confidence and the parameters by which they'll say, I would like to do this. It's got to be something that your profession becomes your passion.
So true, sir.
Right? So if you have a like for a certain field, today India offers delimited opportunities.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you have a passion for something, pursue that. Right? Because if your passion becomes your profession, then automatically your profession becomes your passion.
Wow, so true.
And if you continue the humility of continued learning and knowledge acquisition, then sky is the limit.
Wow.
Have the humility, learn, make your profession your passion, and your passion your profession.
Understood, sir.
There you go. That's the mantra for success.
Again, so thank you so much again for your time.
My
I'm really
pleasure.
sorry I caught you off guard with all of this, but
No problem. No
you know,
problem.
this whole setup, this, that 25-minute recording which we have might really change some people's careers in future.
I'll be very happy if it does, because that's what I think I can give back after a very wonderful life. I had mentors, I had people who guided me. So I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.